Good evening and welcome to the Right On Christmas Special 2022. This is part 2. I hope you enjoy. It's Anne McManus's piece next, and it's called Ordering the Turkey.
Good morning. Can I speak to Tommy? Which Tommy would you be looking for now? The Tommy who comes to the Galway market on a Saturday. Oh, that Tommy. He goes to my Cullen of a Friday. That's the very man. Well, he doesn't be here of a Monday. Oh, I see. The poor old divil has to get over doing the Fridays and the Saturdays. Early start them days, 5 o'clock in the morning. Sure enough, he needs the rest. Sure, we'd get no good out of him at all if he was to come in of a Monday. The other Tommy is out the back making sausages up to his elbows in mate. Will I get him? No, not at all. Sure, you can take the order yourself. What's your name? I'm Joe. We have 2 Joes here, Towny Joe and Colchy Joe. That's me, Colchy Joe. Right so, Joe. I need an 8 to 10 pound bronze turkey. Before you go any further now, ma'am, them are all gone. Well, they're still out the field running around, but they're all booked up. They have labels on them. Not one left. All we have now are 16 pounds and over. Dolly Partons, we do call them ones. Oh, no. And I thought I was in good time. Well, the ways it is this year, ma'am, a lot of people are staying at home, not going to hotels like they used to, in case the old virus would be there ahead of them. That virus is an awful curse coming all the ways from China. It is indeed, Joe. So what about the turkey? Oh, could you do a half turkey, Joe? On the length, if you know what I mean. Holy Mother of God, ma'am. That would be a terrible thing to do. What about a crown? No, Joe, no brown meat with it. So 'twill have to be the half. And what about the stuffing, ma'am? Sure, there's no cavity to push it in. Joe, I haven't put the stuffing in the turkey since we were told the cavity is full of germs, and you're right there, ma'am. The sister-in-law had a dose of the skittles for a week after eating stuffing from the cavity. We do have a goose ourselves with the potato and the onion stuffing. Joe, about the half turkey, be sure to send in the gizzard, the heart and the liver. Of course, ma'am. Sure, it's the only way to make decent gravy. The young ones know to make it out of a packet full of chemicals. Sure, most of them don't know how to cook a turkey these days. They get the slices from the supermarket and the stuffing too. Now, ma'am, are you nearer to Galway or my Cullen? I'm in Galway, Joe, but I'll collect in my Cullen. Going into town is a nightmare with the traffic. Galway traffic? A few months back I was driving into Galway, and when I seen the line going on to the roundabout near Galway, what did I do? Only a Yui in the middle of the road and went home. My Cullen saw Joe on the 23rd. Grand, ma'am, and wouldn't you be the foolish woman to go into Galway market Christmas week, putting yourself in danger, rubbing up against all sorts and maybe ending up in the bed for the Christmas? That's all grand now, Joe. Holy Mother of God, didn't I forget to get your name, ma'am? But don't worry, I have it all written into the book here. The talk is a bad job sometimes. It is indeed, Joe. Happy Christmas to you. Happy Christmas to you too, ma'am, and all belonging to you.
Well done, Anne. You never lost it. Right, so we're going to take another one of James's poems now, and this one is called
Orphans of the Dark. Tonight the streets are empty now, except for the orphans of the dark. Muffled between old cardboard boxes, rolled amongst torn coats. Hear no song sounds for the tribe of blue and cold. The only tune is the rattle from their chests, the poor of back alleys, where fights spark up over burger crusts, and the drains from lager tins occasionally tired laughter skims across sunken eyes, showing once happy times, caught for a moment under the chill of winter skies. They say he looks down on them like no other would. But where is their bed of warmth and eiderdown, instead of filth and mud? God, they say, they have a crow to pluck with you on this icy night, fevered with shivering when the cold of morning's light spits at abandonment, denouncing the hypocrisy of Christmas care.
Well done, James.
That is so sad, James. So beautifully put.
Okay, Elizabeth has a poem called Christmas.
O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. O come.
Christmas by Elizabeth Hannon. Christmas preparations done, presents wrapped, stockings hung. Quietly out the door I creep, children, Santa dreaming, sleep. Icy roads, car can't make it, breathing foggy steam, I leave it. Moonlight reflects on ice and snow, sliding to midnight mass I go. Strangers, neighbours, climb the hill, cheery greetings from darkness spill. Bright rainbows from church emerge, laughter muffled, all converge. Triumphant organ, voices joining, old familiar carols telling Mary's journey, ages gone, to the place her child was born. The crowds hush, as with candles dim, young girl solemnly the babe takes in. Boy's sweet soprano voice enthralls, O holy night, my heart free falls. Exalted, renewed, I struggle home, ready for the shouts, Santa's come!
Come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye
That was really lovely, Elizabeth. Very sensitive, very tender. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah.
This, for your edification, is Yotta, James and Anne Murray as Santa's elves. If the writing never lets you down, James, Yotta, or Anne, you'll always get a job in McDonald's or
Very athletic.
We're all so well able to move tonight.
The old arthritis isn't showing up there.
Frank,
Yes.
you must have given me the Voltarol before that.
I did indeed. Nollaig, as you know, is a treasured member of Right On, and I think we'd all like to show our appreciation to her at this time of year. So the best of order, please. Tonight we pay tribute to Nollaig O'Donnell, who always has a smile on her face. And here she is with the Right On group way back at the launch of our anthology 2019. There's Niall Dempsey and Mary Rose and Geraldine Warren and Elizabeth and Niamh and James Harold in the background, all holding up the freshly minted anthology 2019. So Nollaig has always played a central role in the group. Here she is chatting to Céline, my sister. And over here now is the Roscommon Sear Scale event. And as you can see, Nollaig is front and centre again. Here she is trying to persuade Richard to buy her a cup of coffee. But eventually they end up sharing the coffee. This is 5 times, she tells us. 5 times she's waiting for him to buy the coffee. But one of the days he will break out and give her a cup. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nollaig. Happy birthday.
Bring on the dancing girl with the guitar.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Very good.
You stay with us, Nollaig. You still with us, Nollaig, even after all that.
Frank, I'll remember this for next year.
Does that mean you're going to learn a new tune on the guitar, or does it mean you're not going to show up? Anyway, listen, one of the things, as you know, we're all very fond of Nollaig, and she, in my opinion anyway, has written what I consider will be a classic Right On Christmas story. In all honesty, all joking apart, I think it's one of the nicest stories that has been written by anybody in Right On. Indeed, one of the nicest stories that has been written by anybody. And I really, 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 truly believe that this is a beautiful story, and I hope you all enjoy it. It's called Mam's Little Clown.
Mam's Little Clown by Nollaig O'Donnell. He's just, I don't know, he's just gorgeous, I thought. He's so cute, and I think he's got a real look of Mam in his eyes. What a thought. I mean, I don't think Mam would be too pleased to think that a little clown would remind me of her. Maybe not, but somehow there was, in his absolute eccentricity, a little gem that held something of her essence. I had fallen for him, and so would you if you saw him. Let me give you the chance. First of all, he was tiny, stocky but tiny, with big feet. Yes, very big feet. I think I must have noticed those big, long, red, shiny shoes almost immediately. Immediately, of course, after I had noticed his eyes. Those wonderful, soft, full of devilment eyes. The kind of eyes Well, perhaps those one-of-a-kind of eyes. His cheeks were chubby, made even chubbier by the broad, expansive, truly winning smile. His face had a gentleness about it. Its childlike features, beautifully button-nosed, were surrounded by a chaos of the most amazingly soft, dishevelled red hair. Atop this uncoiffed mass sat his cap, a multicoloured striped cap with a peak. I had the distinct impression that he would not be separated from his cap. It was like his smile, a permanent fixture. He wore an oversized bright red dicky bow pressed up against his chin, accentuating an almost non-existent neck, while at the same time contrasting wonderfully with his deep turquoise shirt. His pants were multicoloured, like his cap, and very, very baggy. They were elastic-waisted, though I know not why, because his big red-buttoned braces were more than adequate for the job. His huge, pale, wide-open, welcoming hands beaconed out at the end of outstretched arms. Arms that were short, though not out of proportion in a body that seemed to be entirely proportionate to the little man himself. I was smitten. My decision was made. There would be no two ways about it. He was coming home with me. Mam was sitting by the fire reading the paper that evening when I called. "Welcome home," said Mam. "You're looking well. Great tan." "Oh, thanks," I said. "We got lovely weather. And I have a little something for you." I reached into my shoulder bag for the very special souvenir I had brought for Mam, though in truth I had absolutely no idea how she would react to it. I just knew that I had to give it to her. "Oh, I told you not to be wasting your money on me," she said. She had always said that, and she had always meant it. Not for Mam the little souvenir of a trip to wherever. No, indeed, she didn't do dust collectors, thank you very much. I was taking a risk with this one. I knew that. "Here you are," I said, handing over a small, soft little package. "Hope you like it." I held my breath as Mam tore off the wrapping paper and unrolled the plastic bubble wrapping before eventually coming face to face with her little clown. I was still holding my breath when Mam smiled. It was the smile that I had longed to see, that sometimes smile that started at her lips, lingering there just a few seconds before taking that risk to rise upwards, coming to rest right inside her eyes. She liked him. The week that followed was not an easy one. It was one of those weeks that mark a change, a turning point in the life of a family. A time when everything goes on about its business as usual, yet some one thing has happened that has within it the power to threaten the familiar order of lives. Auntie B, our favourite auntie, had been diagnosed with dementia. I suppose it had felt more like confirmation of a terrible suspicion than a diagnosis. And it rocked our world. There is nothing quite like the confirmation of fear to petrify and dispirit. Towards the end of that particular week, I dropped in on Mam. She was sitting by the fire reading the newspaper. Auntie B had just left, after a short visit. She had been in town shopping and called to Mam for a cuppa before going home. "She skipped cards again last night," Mam said, as she let a log fall into the fire. "She says she felt she had a cold coming on and decided to stay in, but I know she just forgot to go." "I know that," I said. "You do." and so does she. We fell silent. Do you know something, Mam said? You'll laugh at this. But last night, I wasn't in the best of form sitting here reading the paper. Then I heard the church bells chime 8 o'clock. I lifted my head from the paper and I looked over at the windowsill at my little clown. A very strange thing happened. I started to laugh, for no reason in the world, but just the look of him, I suppose, his eyes and the silly cap. If anyone had looked in the window, they would have said, "Look at that old lady, on her own in there, half daft, laughing away at nothing." Well then, they would have been wrong, ma'am, I said. What better could you have been doing? You were here, in your own world, happily laughing at your very own little clown. Do you want to go into town for a few hours, take a break? Richard asked. I'll stay with Mam until you come back. I'd love to, I said. But no, there will be other Christmas Eves for shopping. Anyway, more snow is promised for later, and that would make it very difficult to get back out here. Yes, you could be right about that, said Richard. Actually, I think I might move Mam's bed over to the window, I said. It's really warm in here with the sun bouncing off the sea and the snow. We moved Mam's bed, her little clown standing steadfastly on the bed frame at the foot of the bed, his big red shiny shoes submerged in blue tack to secure him. I propped her up on her pillows so she could look out the window over the clown and the sea and into the azure blue sunlit sky. It was positively Mediterranean. I wonder would we take a walk on the beach, asked Mam, after Richard had left for home. It's a really lovely day, and there's great heat in that sun. Okay, I said, but we'll have a cuppa first. I did not want to burst her bubble by telling her that it was 4 degrees out there. And I knew that by the time we would have had the cuppa, she would have forgotten all about that walk on the beach. Dementia does that. Just then, an attendant popped her head in the door. I didn't know her. Everything okay? She asked. I'm Sally. I'll be on over Christmas. Some carol singers have just arrived downstairs. Oh, you've moved to the bed. Hey, that's a good idea. She bounced across the room and stood beside Mam's bedside by the window. The view here is amazing, she said, smiling at Mam. You've got the best room in the entire nursing home. But Mam's eyelids had dropped. The heat and sunlight and silent night had lulled her to sleep. Sally tiptoed out of the room to join the ambulance patients downstairs with the carol singers. I sat at Mam's bedside, still in the light and heat. Just then I remembered that I had my sketch pad in my handbag on the press beside me. I opened my bag, took out my pad and brush pen and started sketching to the strains of Jingle Bells and the seasonal smell of mince pies. 20 minutes later, he had almost materialized. Cap, wild hair, dicky bow, braces and baggy pants. All he needed now were his oversized shoes and one finishing touch. A magic stroke to make those soft eyes smile. Mission accomplished. Seconds later, Mam awoke. Hazy and slightly dazed by the sunlight, she lifted her eyes to meet mine. "Look," I said, holding my sketch up for inspection. "Who is this?" "Ah," she sighed, smiling, giving a gentle nod to the little man at the foot of her bed. "That's my little clown." Mam passed away peacefully 5 days later.
Gets to me all the time, and no matter how many times I read it or hear it or see it, it's a beautiful, beautiful story. Joanne, I don't think you've seen it before or heard it, have you?
No, it's I have rarely been moved to tears now, like listening to anything. I'm probably I've read too much, but that was just absolutely amazing. And so grateful to hear it. And maybe to hear it for the first time is good, and to hear it again, just, oh my God, words fail me. It's just amazing. And thank you. Oh my God, I don't know what to say. I was just really emotionally thrilled to hear that story. It was brilliant. Thanks a million.
Kathleen, I don't think you've heard it either. What did you think?
Absolutely delightful. I loved every word of it. And coming on to the end, I know myself, you're sitting beside your loved one who is extremely ill. Even though you want to be, I've spent hours myself with my sister, but at the same time, you kind of get a bit bored and you want to do something. And I thought it was so good to sketch out the little clown, and I was thinking, what more could you do? And just absolutely delightful.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Sorry for interrupting you, Bill.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous.
The clown.
Gorgeous. Did you make that yourself? No.
No. That's what we got on holidays that we brought back to Mam,
I see.
Now I understand the Bluetooth or the blue tack.
The blue tack. Oh,
yeah.
yes.
I thought the blue tack was on his. Oh, okay.
No, look, thanks a million for that. I mentioned when Anne McManus was leaving that we were going to have a reprise of her, what we call lovingly the camel, the camel poem. And for those of you that haven't seen this one before, I'm sure it'll resonate with a lot of people. It's Childhood Memory by Anne McManus.
His glassy eyes, his hairy hump, his lumpy feet, his thick, curled lips made my childhood Christmas. One camel between the three. Did they take turns, the Magi, or toss a coin? I longed to get into his saddle, grasp the embroidered reins in my 10-year-old hands. That year, on a quiet January day, I stole out of our bright kitchen into the nearby dim cathedral, climbed into the leather saddle, and rode that camel to the Orient.
Again, I think that's a classic Christmas poem. It says so much about children at Christmas and what
Anne McManus in particular.
And Anne McManus and what she gets up to. This is a poem that was written by Judith Gagan, and Bill, as you know, is our resident musician. I'll call you Bill for tonight. And Bill put a tune to it, and so it's the Bill and Judith recording, and it's called Manhattan Christmas Magic.
Magic of this time of year is like a precious souvenir. Tales unfold in every park, windows, pictures in light, in dark. On Fifth Avenue, festive shoppers spending lots and lots of dollars. Yellow cabs, carriage rides, on this magic stage collide. It's Manhattan Christmas magic that tears at your heartstrings, and Manhattan Christmas magic that shares the love it brings. Rockefeller's dazzling tree fills your heart with joyful glee as you skate around the rink, vying to rotate and sink. Later on, Rockettes enchanting with refined precision tapping. All mocked up, we walk the High Line under twinkling New York skyline. It's Manhattan Christmas magic that tears at your heartstrings, and Manhattan Christmas magic that shares the love it brings. At St. Pat's, a Christmas prayer, candlelit for all who care. Then listen to the carol singers while giving to the saints and sinners. Central Park, a white-haired grandee, happily singing help our pantry. Smile at Grinches, join the queues, not a time to booze or snooze. Don't be dark and don't be dreary, it will only make God weary. Don't be sad, don't be greedy, just be kind and feed the needy. It's Manhattan Christmas magic that tears at your heartstrings, and Manhattan Christmas magic that shares the love it brings. Manhattan Christmas magic that tears at your heartstrings, and Manhattan Christmas magic that shares the love it brings. It's Manhattan Christmas magic. It's Manhattan Christmas magic. It's Manhattan Christmas magic. It's Manhattan Christmas magic. Yes, it's Manhattan Christmas magic. It's Manhattan Christmas magic. It's Manhattan Christmas magic that shares the love it brings.
Well, now, for those who haven't seen that before, it stands the test of time, Judith and Bill, in a big way. All right, listen, thanks a million for that, and thanks for making the effort. I know you're just back in the country and so on. Thanks for making the effort to join us. We've one or two other things to finish up with. I see here that Geraldine, Elizabeth, Nullock, Richard, and Kathleen. Kathleen, what have yourself and Richard been up to in Santi country? Are you going to admit it, or will we just have
I think you're going to tell us.
I think I might tell you, Kathleen. Here we go.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Richard, I never knew you had those moves.
I just I can dance a lot better than that.
That wasn't your best effort then, was it not?
That's the guitar
Did the
playing.
camera walk and that wasn't great.
The guitar playing, is it?
The guitar playing was, I think.
That put him off, I think.
Superb.
Those are fantastic.
Now,
Castanets were very good.
James Conway, once again, we have a poem called Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve by James Conway. I remembered those Christmas Eves, the candles triangled on the windowsill, a faded teddy bear posing as a melting snowman, and cards in rows lighting up our winter tales. Outside, the ice and snow blued our vision, questions on our children's lips. What would Santa bring? My father with his Mozart, notes sending us to a higher heaven, a universe caught between the stars, the twinkle, sparkle, the cheer, a warm bed for the lucky, but not for those who had little, a stable with the heath of a donkey, straw scattered for a little baby new amongst the world. The wise men tired, in awe, glad they'd travelled miles in hundreds across deserts, mountains, led by a light only they could see, knowing a new day was their salvation, the mystique of that feeling, magic to the heart. Well done, James.
Thank you.
James, all your poems tonight are absolutely beautiful, all of them. And they share a kind of a theme. They have a heavy nostalgia and always the comparison between the haves and the have-nots. They're very, very...
Well, you see it all around you in the city, and I suppose I was lucky to be reasonably comfortable, like a lot of people. And when you see the starker end of it, especially at this time, it comes out in one, and then there's a lot of reaching back into childhood too, you know.
Yeah. That's a lovely collection.
Well, we're getting to the good stuff now.
Watch out for Celia.
She plays a stormer.
Celia is that show.
Celia's the star of that particular show. Have we left anybody out? Did anybody get a slagging? Everybody got a slagging, I think. Okay, we're down to our second last item now, and this item features Kathleen, Nollaig, Richard, Geraldine Warren, and Elizabeth. And what they were doing was taking care of business. Thank you both. And don't forget, the write-on would not survive without the members and all of the new writing. And when you think of all the material we've seen tonight, it wouldn't have been there if you didn't take the time to write it. We'll finish up with Mary Rose and Peter, her brother, and her nephews. You'll see nieces and nephews, and she'll sing us out. And I hope everybody has a happy and healthy Christmas. And we'll see you all in January. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Thank you, Mary Rose.
Very good, Mary Rose. Lovely, lovely singing.
Well done.
Nicely presented.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Anne Marie. Happy Christmas, everyone.